Hi everyone, I hope you have watched the previous videos. Let's start the session. We're continuing this chapter, measurement and system of units. Okay, which device is used to measure earthquakes? That is this seismograph. Okay, so thermometer is used to measure temperature. Okay, endoscope view the inside of person's body. Okay, and sonograph is used to measure or evaluate, diagnose, and treat a wide range of medical conditions. Okay. Instrument for measuring light intensity is called, that is lucimeter. Okay. Cryometer is used to measure very low temperatures. Okay. Cyanometer is used to measure color intensity of blue sky. Okay. Barometer will know that atmospheric pressure. Okay. So here cryometer is used to measure low temperatures. Okay, and cyanometer is used to measure color intensity of blue sky. Okay, color intensity of blue sky or ocean. Okay, instrument used for measuring specific gravity or density is called. Okay, specific gravity or density. Okay, is called, that is aerometer. Okay, the aerometer is used nowadays are mostly made of glass. Okay, the instrument used to measure blood pressure, we know that, sphygmomanometer. Okay, and ECG is used for diagnosis of heart disease. Okay, diagnose, sorry, diagnosis of heart disease. Okay, and we know the stethoscope used to listen of sounds produced by heart or lung. Okay, instrument for measuring rainfall is, that is hydrometer. Okay, lucimeter, we know that light, light intensity. Okay, hygrometer humidity. Okay, light intensity, and hygrometer is used for humidity. Okay, humidity. Okay, instrument for measuring wind velocity is called, that is anemometer. Okay, instrument for measuring wind velocity is called anemometer. Okay, coulometer is a tool for measuring the electrostatic charge of material. Okay, electrostatic charge of a material. Okay, seismometer we have discussed, right? Chronometer also. The chronometer is used for measuring time. Okay. Anemometer is blueness of sky. Okay. How can we measure specific gravity of milk? By using hydrometer. Okay. It uses Archimedes principle. Okay. And the hydrometer is made of a thin glass or a plastic tube sealed at both ends. Okay. Odometer is used for measuring distance traveled by a vehicle. Okay. And viscometer is for measuring the viscosity of liquids. Okay. Here he asking about the matching the following. Fathometer is depth of sea. Fathometer, depth of sea, that is D. And barometer, atmospheric pressure, that is A. Hygrometer, atmospheric humidity, yes, B. So remaining is C. Altitude, altimeter is height. Okay. So DA, BC, that is option B. Okay. Instrument used to measure the intensity of light is, that is lux meter. Okay. Which of the following is the instrument for nomination of thermometer on water vapor temperature? That is hygrometer. Okay. Hygrometer is used to measure humidity or water vapor content in air. Okay. Hypsometer is used to measure height or elevation. Okay. Height or elevation measurements. Okay. Unit of electric field is, that is Newton per coulomb. Okay. So intensity of electric field E equals to F by Q. Here F is electric force. Okay. Electric force. And Q is electric charge. Okay. Here the unit is Newton. Here the unit is coulomb. Okay. Sorry. Coulomb. Okay. So that's why we get in the unit as Newton per coulomb. Okay. Which of the following thermometer is called pyrometer? That is option B, radiation thermometer. Okay. Pyrometer is used to follow measurements. So the answer is high temperature. Okay. Air pressure is barometer. Humidity hygrometer. Intensity of earthquake is seismograph. Okay. Which of the following instrument is used to detect the position of submerged objects in the ocean? That is sonar. Okay. Sextant is A doubly reflecting navigation instrument that measures the angular distance between two visible objects. Okay, and galvanometer is used to measure small electric currents. Audiometer is used to measure hearing threshold. Okay, and here matching the following ammeter current. They are giving the units here. Okay, option C. Hygrometer, that is specific gravity, sorry, humidity. Okay, here 4, it is 3, sorry, 3 and 4. Barometer is pressure, spring balance is to weight. Okay, that is 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, that is option B. Okay, which one of the following is not correctly matched? Decibels, unit of loudness, correct. Horsepower, unit of power, right. Nautical mile, unit of distance in navigation. Celsius, Celsius, unit of heat. It's not a heat, unit of temperature. Okay, so option D is wrong one. Which of the following is not correct? Manometer, pressure, right. Carburetor, internal combustion engine, right. Cardiogram, speed of heart. Okay, seismograph, seismograph is used to measure earthquake. Okay, this is wrong one. Okay, so seismograph is the wrong one. Seismograph is used for detecting earthquakes. Okay, which of the following is not correctly matched? Anemometer, speed of air, ammeter, electric current, tachometer. Here, tachometer, not pressure difference. Okay, tachometer is rotational speed of shaft. Okay, rotational speed of shaft. Okay, barometer is high temperature. So option C is not correct. Okay, relative humidity is measured by, that is hygrometer. Okay, and hydrometer is specific gravity of liquid. Okay, specific gravity of liquid. Okay, here lactometer is purity of milk. Okay, purity of milk. Potentiometer, voltage difference. Okay, voltage difference. Which instrument is used to measure atmospheric pressure? That is barometer. Okay, here manometer is used to measure pressure of fluid flow in the pipeline. Okay, measure pressure of fluid flowing in pipe. Okay, Which liquid is used in simple barometer? That is mercury. Okay. Sudden drop in the level of mercury in a barometer is an indication of, that is storm. Okay. And I will, three conditions are there: sudden fall, and a gradual rise. Okay. Mercury level and indication. Okay. The first one is sudden fall. Sudden fall. That indicates storm or cyclone. Okay. And the second one, gradual fall. That indicates possibility of heavy rain. Okay. Heavy rain. Gradual rise. That is indicates dry weather or fair weather. Okay. Okay. Liquid crystals are used in wristwatches, display devices, pocket calculators. So all of the above. Okay. Liquid crystals are used in all of the above. Okay. And matching the following. Okay. Here stethoscope means to listen heart sound. Okay. That is three. And sphygmomanometer, that is used to measure blood pressure. That is four. Keratometer, that is to find purity of gold. Okay. That is to luxmeter, to measure intensity of light. Okay. So that is one. 3, 4, 2, 1. 3, 4, 2, 1 is option C. Okay. Which instrument is used to measure blood pressure? That is sphygmomanometer. Okay. Glucometer is used to measure how much glucose in the blood. Okay. Measure how much glucose is in blood. Okay. Okay. Sine wave inverter converts, it converts DC to AC. Okay. Direct current to alternate current. Okay. And hygrometer one over that, right? The principle on which the stethoscope used by doctors work is, that is superposition of sound wave. Okay. Once again matching the following. So here anemometer is airspeed, that is 3. Seismograph, earthquake. Barometer, atmospheric pressure, that is 2. Hygrometer, humidity. Okay. That is 4, 3, 1, 2, 4. That is option D. Okay, oximeter is used to that is used to measure the growth in length of plant organ. Okay, so measure the rate of growth. Okay, and it is also used to measure pressure inside the roots of the plant. Okay, I'll write it down here. Growth in plants. Okay, and second one is to measure pressure inside the use it to measure pressure inside the roots of plants. Okay, and it allows measurement of growth in the micrometer. Okay, odometer instrument for measuring the distance traveled by the wheels of vehicles. This is right. Yes, odometer 1 second they are given. Instrument for measuring the frequency of electromagnetic wave. This is wrong. That is wave meter. Okay, and audiometer sound intensity measuring device. That's right. A meter electrical power measurement. This is not power measurement. It is used to measure current. Okay, so B and uh, D are wrong answers. Okay, the instrument used to measure the intensity of sound. That is audio meter. Okay, mercury is commonly used in the thermometers because of its characteristic of which of the following, that is high coefficient of expansion. Okay, again matching the following. So lactometer, that is for purity of milk, and meter electric current 1, hygrometer humidity 2, voltmeter potential, that is voltage. So 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, option A. The relative density of milk can be found by, that is lactometer. Okay, and butyrometer is used to measure fat content in milk or milk products in general. Okay, measure fat content in milk or milk products. Okay, or okay, and Gerber method is a very popular method for determination of milk fat. Okay, this is not SI fundamental unit. Ampere, candela, Newton, Kelvin. So here Newton is not a SI unit. Okay, the speed of airplane and ships is shown in knot. The speed of 100 knots will be. 1 mile equals to 1 mile equals to 1.60 kilometers, right? So 1 kilometer equals to 1 by 1.60 mile, right? So here 1 knot equals to 1 knot equals to 1.85 kilometer per hour. Okay, so 1.85 into for 1 kilometer, how many miles? That is 1 by 1.60 mile per hour. Okay, so here it is 1.15. Okay, 1.15 mile per hour. Okay, so for 100 knots, 100 knot, that is 1.15 into 100, that is 115 mile per hour. Okay, so our answer is option D. Okay, which is not correctly matched. Celsius temperature, right? Kilowatt hour energy, right? RH factor, blood, right? Richter scale. Richter scale is used to measure earthquake. Okay, so that is wrong answer. Richter scale is wrong answer here. Pascal unit, that is pressure. Unit of pressure is Pascal. Okay, Joule is related to energy in the same way Pascal is related to, that is pressure. Okay, what is the unit of atmospheric pressure? It is bar. Okay, 1 bar equals to 1 bar equals to 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Okay, or 100 kilopascals. Okay, unit of electric resistance of a conductor is, that is ohm. Okay, farad is unit of capacitance. Okay, here farad is unit of capacitance. Voltage. Okay, ampere is current. Okay, electron volt is the unit of, that is energy. Okay, charge of electrons is coulomb. Okay, here potential difference volt. Okay, power is watt. Okay, which of the following SI unit is not correctly matched? That is pressure and dyne. Okay, dyne is the unit of force in CGS unit. Okay, SI unit of pressure is Pascal. Okay, so this is wrong. SI unit. Okay, decibel unit is used to measure, that is intensity of sound. Okay, decibel is a, that is a measure of sound level. Okay, match list 1, list 2, and correctly answer. Okay, using the code, we have to answer the correct options. So Q6 rate of flow, that is option 3. Byte computer, right? Richter intensity of earthquake, bar pressure. 3421. 3421 is option B. Okay. Once again, the matching are given. Wavelength, that is angstrom. 2. Energy, that is joule. Sound, intensity of sound is decibel. 4. Frequency, H is 2341. That is option A. Okay. Then matching what what is unit of power. Okay. That is 4. Knot, speed of ship. Nautical mile, navigation. Okay. 2. Calorie is, that is 4321. Option C. Okay. Megawatt is a unit of measurement of electricity which is produced. Okay. Tachyon means, that is particle that always travel faster than light speed. Okay. It means it is a swift, quick, fast, and rapid one. Okay. So here in the options, particle moving faster than the speed of light is the right answer. Okay. Which of the following is a vector quantity? That is uh, displacement. Okay. What is measured in cusecs? That is flow rate of water. Okay. 1 cusec equals to 1 cusec equals to 28.317 liters per second. Okay. Liter per second. What is the SI unit of mechanical energy? That is joule. Okay. Mechanical energy equals to mechanical energy equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay. So of the following quantity is measured on Richter scale. That is intensity of earthquakes. Okay. Parsec unit is, so that is the parsec is unit of astronomical distance. Okay, so option A is right, distance. Okay, one parsec equals to 3.26 light years. Okay, the smallest unit of length. Micron means here 10 to the power of minus 6, and nanometer is 10 to the power of minus 9. and fermimeter is 10 to the power of minus 15. So among the options, option C is right answer. Okay, fermimeter. That is the smallest unit among the given options. Okay, Fermi is the unit which expresses, that is length. Okay, and once again they're giving the matchings. Okay, high velocity Mach 1 wavelength, that is angstrom to pressure, pressure in Pascal 3, energy joule 1, 2, 3, 4. That is option C. Acceleration meter per second square is 4, force Newton 3, work done joule 1, and impulse Newton second 4312, option C. Okay, which of the quantity is not a vector? That is option D. Okay, which of the following is not the unit of heat? That is watt. Okay, calorie, kilocalorie, kilojoule are the unit of heat or energy. Okay, here here 1 kilocalorie equals to 4.18 kilojoules. Okay, okay. Which of the following is a vector quantity? That is momentum. Okay, consider the following physical quantities: energy, impulse, power, pressure, temperature, gravitational potential. Which of the above are vector quantities? That is only impulse is the vector quantity. Okay, remaining are scalar quantities. Okay, radian is equals to, that is 2 pi radian equals to 360 degrees. Okay, so 1 radian equals to 360 by 2 pi, or 180 degrees by pi. Okay, so 1 radian equals to 57.295 degrees. It's around 57.3 degrees. Okay, so here option C is right answer. 1 degree is equals to, that is 60 minutes. Okay, which of the following is related to the temperature? That is, it is a measurement of heat. Okay, temperature is the measure of coldness or hotness shown in terms of any measuring scale. It indicates the trajectory in which heat energy spontaneously propagates. Okay, 60 degree corresponds to how many radians? We know 180 equals to 180 degrees equals to pi radians. Okay, so 60 degree equals to pi by 180 degree into 60. So into 60 degree, that is equals to pi by 3 radian. Okay, so here the answer is option C. Which angle plate is adjustable in such a way as to keep both the surface at an angle? That is swivel tape angle plate. Okay, material used for angle plate is, that is gray cast iron. Okay, angle plate is a 90-degree section of cast iron with two accurately measured surfaces. Okay, which of the following is an example of comparator? So the answer is dial gauge. Okay, you can see in the picture. Okay, dial gauge is also known as dial indicator. Okay, is a comparison measuring instrument. Okay, the working principle of the dial gauge is depend on the movement of the spindle. Okay, part of the dial gauge that shows the numbers from the measurement results is called scale. Okay, sine bar is used to measure sine bar is used to measure the angle of a tapered jaw. Okay, sine bar is the one of the most accurate angle measuring device. Okay, working principle of sine bar is based on the trigonometric function. Okay, sine bar is specified by center distance between two rollers. Okay, you can see here in the picture. Okay, this is the sine bar. Okay, which is used for leveling of a machinery, that is spirit level. Okay, you can see in the picture here, spirit level is used for leveling of machineries. Okay, it is an instrument to indicate whether a surface is horizontal or vertical related to the earth. Okay, you can see different types of spirit levels. Okay, in a one component. Okay, and different types of spirit level may be used by carpenters, bricklayers, metal workers. Okay, spirit level is made of a tube and a holder. Tube is generally made of glass. Okay, or plastic. Which among the following instrument is used to check the concentricity of the outside diameter? That is dial test indicator. Okay, you can see in the picture, dial test indicator is used to check the concentricity of the outside diameter. Okay, here you can see, right? This is the dial indicator. Okay, and the functions of dial test indicator are as comparison in mass production, check the center alignment, and determine errors in geometric shapes such as oval, round, and taper. Okay, and as a comparison of two heights of two distances between narrow boundaries. Okay, which among the following instruments are used to check the components only to ensure that the sizes are within the prescribed limit in mass production work? So gauges are used to check the components only to ensure that the sizes are within the prescribed limit in mass production work. Okay, so here the answer is gauges. Okay, and Taylor's principle is related to gauge design. Okay, Taylor's principle is related to gauge design. Okay, and no-go and go gauges are designed to check the minimum and maximum material limit. I am showing you here the go and no-go gauges. Okay, here you can observe in the left side is go side, right side is no-go side, and in between here they're mentioning gauge size with tolerance value. Okay, which of the following is not a tool used for marking? That is dial indicator. Okay, what is the angle of the angle plate? That is 90 degrees. Okay, the angle plate is made of cast iron. Okay, the edges and ends of angle plate are measured square. Okay, and few types of angle plates are there: plain solid angle plate, slotted type angle plate, swivel type angle plate, box type angle plate. Okay, and slotted type of angle plate can be tilted 90 degrees along with the work for marking or measuring. Okay, which grade of slip gauge is used for general workshop application? That is grade 2. You can see here in the box different types of gauges. Okay, now coming to the grades, there are 4 grades of slip gauges. Okay, the first one is grade 00, second one is grade 0, third one is grade 1, fourth one is grade 2. Okay, so first one is calibration grade. Okay, calibration grade, and grade 0 is inspection grade. Okay, inspection grade. Grade 1 is tool room application. Okay, and grade 2 is workshop application. Okay, workshop application. Okay, please remember this. Finishing of measuring phases of slip gauge is done by, that is done by lapping. Okay, here slip gauge is also known as slip gauge, also known as gauge block or Johnson gauge. Okay, Johnson gauge. Okay, and these are made of stabilized high grade steel. Okay, stabilized high grade steel. Okay, and hardness of slip gauge should be, hardness should be 64 HRC. Okay, and cross sectional size of slip gauge is 32 by 9 mm. Okay. Dial test indicator is used for measuring, that is, deviation of any object from an expected standards. Okay. And high magnification ratio is important in this instrument. Okay. A rotatable bevels are used in dial test indicator for marking final zero setting. Okay. And tolerance points are attached to dial face for rapid checking of parts. Okay. The size of the sign bar is specified by, that is, center distance between the two rollers. Okay. The commonly available size of sign bar is uh, there 100 mm, 200 mm, 250 mm. Okay. 100 mm, 200 mm, 250 mm sizes. Okay. Sizes are available. Okay. Which of the following is an example of comparator? That is dial gauge. Okay. Dial gauge is an example of comparator. Which of the following is an instrument for indirect angle measurement? That is option D, sine bar. Okay. The size of the sine bar is specified by, I have discussed it before, center to center distance between rollers. Okay. Which of the following instrument is not used for measuring of angles? So here option B, optical flats. Okay. You can see in the picture, flatness error can be tested by using um, by placing the optical flat above the test piece. You can see in the left side is test piece that is perfectly flat. Okay. So in the second image, we can determine the flatness error of one fringes. Okay. By using the fringes, we can decide the flatness errors. Okay. So the optical flat is a disc of high quality glass or a quartz. Okay. Optical flats are often used into test gauge blocks for precision and wear, and these are also used as a reference against the flatness of unknown surface for comparison. Okay. To measure the cylinder bore, one of these instruments is used. That is dial indicator. Okay. Micrometer is used for marking precise linear measurement of dimensions such as diameter, thickness, and length. Okay. Screw gauge is mainly used to measure the diameter of a thin wire. Okay. And inside and outside calipers are used for inside dimension and external dimensions of an object. Okay. Which angle can be checked using tri-square? That is 90 degrees. Okay. You can see here in the image. So this is 90 degrees angle. Okay. And this is also a 90-degree angle. Okay. This is called straight edge. Okay. This is stock. Okay, and here one slot is there that is called burr slot. Okay, size of sign bar is taken from, that is taken from distance between two roller centers. Okay, sign bar is not in which of the following sizes, that is um, 500 Okay, it's not there. The purpose of hole in the sign bar is, that is to reduce its weight. Okay, sign bar works on the principle of, that is trigonometric principle. Okay, you can see here the how the sign bar is works. Okay, we're placing on the gauge blocks. Okay, to get the angle. Okay, by using the trigonometric functions. Okay, we'll get the value of the angle. Okay, this is the height from the uh, reference line to the case end. Okay, so this is the angle theta. Okay, and here it is the L. Okay, so by using the sin theta equals to h by L formula, we are getting theta. Okay, material of sine bar is, that is stabilized chromium steel. Okay, sine bar is used to, sine bar is used to determine the angle of tapered job. Okay, which of the following is not the angle measuring device? Okay, that is angle plate. Okay, what is the accuracy of master gauge? That is option B, 0.0001 inch. Okay, a master gauge is a standard or reference gauge. Okay, it is used for checking the accuracy of inspection gauge. Okay, it is also used to calibrate or set micrometer, comparator, or other gauge systems. Okay, measuring tool is made of which metal? That is both spring and stainless steel metals. Okay, bevel protractor is used in, bevel protractor is used in angular measurement. Okay, you can see here in the diagram, that is the bevel protractor. Okay, so the object is placed here. Okay, like this. Okay, this is the object. Okay, so by using this, we can get the angle of the object. Okay, it ranges from 0 to 180 degrees. Okay, and it is also known as plane protractor or engineer's protractor. Okay, clinometer is used to, that is used to angle glaze. Okay, you can see in the picture, there's the clinometer, and this is how we measure the angles. Okay, clinometer is used to measure angles of slopes, elevation, or depression of an object with respect to the ground. Okay, it's a tool for determining the angle of a surface or object from the horizontal. Okay, these are particularly useful for measuring the height of tall objects by using trigonometry. Okay,